Hi, I'm Elisa Parker, and we are wrapping up the Wild and Scenic Film Festival Media Lounge. It's been such an extraordinary opportunity to connect with so many incredible people who are activists and filmmakers, and a lot of times it's the convergence between the two. Wild and Scenic Film Fest is one of the largest environmental film fests of its kind in the United States. Thousands of people come together here in our community in Nevada City, California, and Grass Valley, California. So, part of this is being plugged in. We are Facebook Living this, actually, and you'll be able to catch these videos as well on the Wild and Scenic Film Fest homepage. But just in thinking about our phones and how plugged in we really are, how does that tie in when we are, as far as our relationship with the outside world, right, the outdoors? How we've been talking a lot about our connection with the land. And how much are these interfering with that? It's an interesting conversation because, of course, we're dialed into this medium right now of film and storytelling. So we're going to have it's a balance. We're going to have this conversation. Christina Franklin dragging 235 pounds uphill both ways, and her daughter Rebecca is with us here as well. So welcome, first of all.
Thanks, Elisa.
So you both came from, you traveled here from Utah.
Mm-hmm. We live in Salt Lake City, Utah.
And how's it been so far at Wild and Scenic and in Nevada City?
Fantastic. We have met amazing filmmakers, amazing volunteers, people attending here, really, really activist-minded people.
Have you had a good time, Rebecca?
Yeah, it's been so much fun.
Yeah, well, it's good to have you here with us. So, Rebecca, you're 13 years old?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so your film it's around plugging in, unplugging, right? Do you want to tell us a little bit about it, Rebecca?
So my mom got sick, and then I guess we just kind of used computers and stuff because we couldn't spend as much time since she was sick. Then she got better like after a year, and so she wanted to go on hikes with us, and I guess she just wanted to get outdoors with us, and so now she's teaching us not to play video games and stuff as much and to go on hikes and spend our time doing better stuff.
What was your initial reaction when your mom said, "Let's go on a hike"?
At first, at first I was like, I don't want to go on a hike because I just don't really want to walk, and I thought it would be really hot and tiring, but it's been lots of fun.
That's great. I hear the same thing from my girls too, Rebecca. I have 11-year-old and a 14-year-old, and they respond the exact same way. But don't you find once you get out, right? Like you said, you have a lot of fun doing it.
Hikes are my favorite now. So.
I love that. So what was the process then to get to this shift, Christina? And let's talk about your film too, about just your own inspiration around this.
Well, getting kids outdoors is not easy, and it's not all of a sudden there's this breakthrough and suddenly they all want to come. There's still moments where she's like, do we have to go? And I have younger kids who would much rather, especially my 11-year-old son, would much rather be sitting in front of a computer or a game. But once we get out there, it's a great experience for our whole family, and we really have started to develop this family culture of enjoying the outdoors and feeling adventurous. And so it just was kind of a long process, had a lot of whining, a lot of meltdowns, and I learned strategies that help my family get out there, and I just brought along a camera with us as we explored.
Nice. And I was talking with Christina off camera. You're not necessarily a filmmaker by trade.
No.
Right?
I'm a nurse and a mom.
Mm-hmm. A mom of 4. Mm-hmm. So what were the parameters that you set in unplugging and getting the kids more connected outside?
Well, we, like I said, I'd been sick for a long time, and I really saw my kids just get into that technological trap. Easy entertainment, and so I would just turn it off. I'd often pick them up from school after school and say, "We're going on a hike," and they'd all be like, "No." And we would drag friends along, which also really helps kids get excited about going outdoors when they have their friends with them. Right. And then we would look for really cool places to go as a family for vacations or over weekends. And that once you get into nature and let kids explore, there are always things that can help them get to that point of revelation, of exploration. And then once you get to that point, you just have to stand back and watch them get ignited.
Right. Rebecca, do you have certain rules at home around both social media and using your devices?
So,
Yes.
we don't really get to play video games after school on school days. We get sometime on Saturdays, but
And Friday afternoon, a lot of times they will.
after, I guess it's been a year since she got better, and I don't really play video games that much anymore. My siblings are starting to move that way too. We just want to do other things when we wake up on Saturday instead of getting on our devices.
How is that, Rebecca, with your friends, right? Are your friends kind of on the same page? Or is that difficult sometimes if you like hang out with a friend and they're like, all of a sudden you're both getting on your, whether that's an iPod or an iPhone or a device, like, is that a challenge sometimes?
I think they know that I just don't like video games as much, and so they try to spend time with me more. They don't get on their phones while I'm there.
Okay, so it's you're a good influence in that way, right? And what are some of the conversations that you and your friends have around, do you guys talk about this at all? Like about being connected, being plugged in, really? And is that something that comes up, and does everyone have different rules in their home?
I don't know. I think my friends, they have phones, but they don't use them as their main thing to do, and so, I don't know,
I think she's probably drawn more to kids who, I've noticed that friend-wise, she's drawn to kids who are more like-minded, who aren't always on their phones.
Right.
So it's been kind of a blessing that way.
Yeah, that's good. So, Christina, what are some of the things you want to say? A lot of Wild and Scenic is based on action and solutions. So, being a parent myself, it's a conversation that we have continuously. What do you want to say to some of the parents around that who are dealing with the same, what feels like sometimes a challenging situation as we see our kids like glued to their devices?
Just get outside. I think that the more you get outside, the more kids are interested in it. There's a lot of things, geocaches that are fun. I learn from my kids, if you feed them well, they're much more motivated to go on experiences. But getting kind of the turnaround I found for my daughter was actually when we did something really hard. We hiked to Havasupai, which is a 12-mile hike in. She carried a 20-pound backpack, and she kind of went from being really whiny, and through that experience, it kind of transformed her into feeling really strong and to identifying herself as a person who enjoys nature. And so I guess don't be afraid to push your kids and go on hard things, because I think you'll be surprised.
That's good advice. Is that at Havasu Falls?
Yes.
What was that like, Rebecca? Because I've been wanting to go there and take my kids too.
It was amazing. We didn't bring our phones at all. I think my parents did, but I didn't bring any devices. And we just got to spend time and go on hikes and be with our family. It was lots of fun.
She did jumping off into the swimming, and it was really, really fun. But I think even we found local hikes that are nearby our house that are captivating for kids. And my 5-year-old daughter loves this one hike that has a rope swing, and it's a push for her to get there, but she still feels, as she's climbing the rock, she feels empowered as a 5-year-old.
Right. That physical contact that we have with the earth and the natural world is so empowering and so important, isn't it? What has been your favorite part about Wild and Scenic, and why is it so important for people and kids to come and enjoy this festival?
Well, I think it is amazing to get kids the opportunity to learn about ways they can change. I love this festival because it isn't a doom and gloom. It is really empowering. And in fact, just watching the trailers before the festival, we watched one of the trailers. It was about not using straws and how they damage the environment. And that day, we were at somewhere for dinner, and my kids piped up and said, "We don't want any straws."
Right.
And I just thought, little changes that a festival like this teaches, little changes that we can make in our daily life that can lead up to big impacts.
That's right. And just knowing that you have the power to shift that is huge, isn't it? 500 million straws a day. That's one of the,
She's already been brainstorming ideas that she can do to go back and...
Yeah, what are some of your ideas, Rebecca?
I think when we get home, my school allows us to start our own clubs. We might start a club to just go hiking. Listening to my mom, she mentioned at one of the festivals that we're the next generation, and maybe the adults want to hike and do stuff like this, but if all the kids are just glued to their devices when we grow up, then who's going to protect the environment? So I want to help other kids too to learn.
That's a good point. That's awesome, Rebecca. What has been one of your favorite films that you saw this weekend?
I've liked all of them. I liked...
Well said.
One of them we saw was just learning from like animals and...
The biomimicry.
Oh, biomimicry.
Yes,
I saw that last night.
We saw that a little bit earlier today. It was amazing.
That's really cool. Yeah, the biomimicry, how we can learn so much from nature, actually, and there are all kinds of different inventions and developments that are based on the human, not the human, but the natural patterns of the wild world as well. Yeah, isn't that interesting?
It is.
Well, thank you so much, both Christina and Rebecca, for being here at Wild and Scenic. And Christina, my last question for you is, the theme is groundswell, so it's really around this convergence and this rise up. What does that mean to you, especially this year, because it's been such a wild year?
That means that it's not doom and gloom. It's not hopeless. That we start by influencing those around us who influence those around them and can make a difference in the world. We can really...
Right. And Rebecca, what do you want to say to kids, especially around your age, about why it's so important to take action around things that are important to us?
I think it's important that we can do like anything if we just start small. We've been talking to a lot of people, and they've just getting outside, starting small, just trying to be helping your community.
Great. I'm Elisa Parker. We are wrapping up the Wild and Scenic Film Fest Media Lounge. Many thanks to our awesome volunteers. We have over 700 volunteers at Wild and Scenic. And to our amazing crew, we have Brendan and Jim and Adela and Tara and Catherine and Brendan's son, who's been hanging out with us as well. Thanks so much. And it's been an extraordinary year. And you'll be able to catch all these videos on the Wild and Scenic Film Fest homepage as well. And take care of yourself and know that everything is possible. Never believe that you are not, never believe that you are, believing that you have matter and you have worth, and there is nothing that is insignificant in this world, and every single action makes a difference and is so important. And you are so important right now, and we need you. It's your time. I'm Elisa Parker, and we'll be back next year. Bye. Thanks, ladies.